Welcome to Behind the Book. Today I have Kat Newport, author, conflict strategist, mediator, and owner of Oculus Inc. We're talking about empowered conflict. Not only is she the author of Smart Conflict, but really how to be empowered in conflict. Let's dive in. Welcome to Behind the Book, where I am your guide, Heather Andrews, unraveling the captivating stories from behind the pages. Join me as I sit down with authors from the literary landscape to delve into challenges, inspirations, and untold tales that breathe life into their written worlds. Welcome to Behind the Book. Today is episode 3 with Kat Newport. She is the author of Smart Conflict. Today, we're going to bring in you, the reader. And so when you think of what your book and all of the things that we've spoken about in Smart Conflict, what SMART stands for, your journey, and really some of those corporate, ideologies around conflict, when the reader goes to pick up your book, when it launches in March and they read it, what is the biggest transformation that you wish for the reader to take part in?
The biggest transformation, I think, it's right in the first line of the book. I say conflict and your stomach starts to clench, your hands get sweaty, all these horrible images of all the bad things that could go wrong start churning in your head. By the end of the book, I'm hoping to have gifted enough tools and techniques and confidence and support and stories that stomach churning anxiousness that goes along with the mere thought of stepping into conflict will hopefully be a little lessened. It will fade just a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to be gone. It'll never be gone. But that confidence will start to pump up a little bit, and you'd be more able to look at conflict in a different way.
I love that. And what actions would you love to see or feeling when you talk about that relaxing of the gut and the, okay, I got this conflict coming my way, but yet I know I can handle this. Yeah. Is there anything else, like in a feeling about that, is there anything else that you would want for your reader?
I think one of the foundational things that I've kind of gravitated towards as the book evolved and started to go into production and all of those things was very much that conflict ties heavily into creativity.
Love that.
I'm not sitting here in a gray business suit for a reason. Conflict ties into creativity. If all I ever think about and all I ever know is my perspective and my thoughts and everything that I've lived through, but I never hear yours and I never hear your perspective and I never hear your ideas, there's no ground for innovation. Mm-hmm. There's no ground for creativity. So yes, I can come up with a solution on my own, but we can come up with one that's even better. And conflict, I don't want to say battleground, but conflict is the playground for that. Mm-hmm. Conflict is just a difference of perspective, a difference of ideas. Yours isn't necessarily right, mine's not necessarily right. We're just trying to find a way that you and I can move forward together.
I love that so much. And I've learned so much from helping you publish your book. I dealt with a lot of conflict throughout my career because I've lived globally. And everybody's got their belief perspective, from religion to how they were raised to their experiences to the weather. And I think the biggest part about that is really there's so much conflict, but conflict can be very small, down to a scenario like somebody cuts you off in traffic, to a leader and employee conflict. And I think conflict, when you talk about it, we were talking about it before, and you talk about conflict in a creativity way, which I love, because it just sort of takes that, okay, let's go into this playground, let's kind of see what we can do here, and really open that. But it takes bravery. Absolutely. It takes courage. Yes. Because you're kind of like taking the gloves off a little bit and kind of opening up to this conversation, and it's the tools really come within that conversation and the courage to have those, because you got to dig deep and you got to be raw and real.
Absolutely. In the book I call this the lighthouse of empathy. You've got to come from a place where you can stand strong on the rock going, no, we can do this together. we can weather the storm. We can do this. And when you're acting out of empathy, as opposed to, I've got to beat you, I have to win this argument. Yeah. When I need to understand where she's coming from. I need to have this relationship with my colleagues so that when we step out of this meeting, we can still get our goals met.
I love the quote that you say, the lighthouse of empathy. It beacons, and standing on that rock, but being vulnerable, it's like living in that duality that we sometimes hear about in the holistic world. And I think as we grow in today's space, there is that space for vulnerability to be more relatable. So that statement is bold, the lighthouse of empathy. And I think if you can approach that in a response action, it will really take how you view conflict to a new level, hence smart conflict.
It all works.
I love that. And I love how when you came on today and you really dug in deep to when you get that ugh feeling about something, it's not right. And that's listening to those red flags and seeing that. And I think if you can change the perspective and be curious, which is the creativity piece of this, it really opens it up and makes everything kind of just go, and you just take a breath and go, okay, I got this. And I love when you say that that's what you want for the reader. So it becomes a very feeling, and feeling gravitates to you and your book and how you can change, and and your coaching that you're doing to help corporations be in that space. It's huge work that you're doing.
Thank you. You summarized that so well.
Yeah, I try. No, but I really think that now we're just going to go in as we wrap up, and I'm just going to ask you one more question. And it's like, what has being a published author been like for you?
I think it's given me the confidence to stand in my own voice.
Okay.
These were always ideas before, just sort of floating around, things that, I tossed out at work, and, a little course here and a little course there, and touch a couple people there, touch a dozen over there. Becoming a published author has given me the opportunity to create my own space, to expand my own ideas, and build on them. I mean, it's even generated, this is the next book. And I think I was 3/4 of the way through writing the first book, the Smart Conflict, going, this is the next one. Having the power to be able to do that for myself, as opposed to waiting for someone else to invite me into the room, I think was huge.
Love that. And I think when we went back to episode 1, as we're now in episode 3, it just kind of struck a thought with me. Was you asked for help, because you knew you couldn't do this on your own, and nor did you want to. And why would you want to? Because it's way more fun when you've got somebody to, right, interview you and, walk this with you. And I think that that's the biggest piece about conflict too, is if you're feeling in a certain way, ask for help. Mm-hmm. Go to that trusted employee, or go to that trusted manager, or go to that trusted leader in your industry, and really ask them how to navigate this. Because an outside perspective based on your own unique experience can really shift how you approach it as well.
Absolutely. And if you're not comfortable going within your organization, I mean, there are things that you can do outside of your organization.
Absolutely.
I mean, I belong to the International Coaching Federation. There are very many of us who work with leaders on developing, feedback and conflicts. And I'm a conflict coach myself. I'm also a mediator. So if we need to go a little bit more formal, there's that. There's many options out there. It's just being brave enough to ask for that help. Yeah,
for sure. And your background, as you mentioned, is quite diverse as well. Yeah. Because I heard conflict resolution, mediator, ICF certified coach, and really, you've got the golden nugget in that. And it's multiple facets to help people work through their conflict. So I'm so proud of you. I'm just so, yeah. Thank you so much, Kat, and I just wish you all the best as you walk into this next half of your launch and publishing author and book 2. So how can people get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me at my website at www.smartconflictbook.com. You can reach me via email at Kat Newport at oculuscoachingyyc.com, or you can give me a shout at 825-365-3533.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And as I've said 2 times before, the smartest thing that you can do is get Smart Conflict, Kat Newport's book. It's on pre-launch on Amazon right now, and just watch for it coming in the upcoming month. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you for having me.
As we close another chapter on Behind the Book, I want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our wonderful authors for sharing their stories. I'm Heather Andrews, reminding you that the adventure doesn't end here. Keep turning those pages, and I will see you next time.